Hey there you guys, it is me, RandomJosh, and I'm back again with another Face Mask Friday video. And so today we're actually going to be doing something a little bit different to what we've been doing this month. And it's still tutorial related, but I'm actually going to be following someone else's tutorial. Oh god. I'm okay and decent at making it up as I go, but following someone else's tutorial could be a little bit interesting. So the person whose tutorial we're going to be following today is Alexis Stone, and they were working alongside Revolution with their new Halloween range, and they've created this awesome look called, wow, I think if I remember correctly it's called Touched by the Devil. So it's basically just like a huge handprint over the face, like a devil's hand, and it looks super detailed and super complicated and fun, but also at the same time it doesn't look too bad. But obviously that's looking at someone who does makeup professionally and me who does not. So it should be quite interesting to see how we do with this. I do have my laptop here, so I will be playing this whilst trying to do it. So I'm just going to set everything up and grab everything. I've tried to get as many of the same products that we used as possible, with a couple of exceptions because it's a little bit tricky. But yes, you will see now.
Hey guys, so it is Elliot Rents. You will probably recognise me as Alexis Stone, and today I'm going to be showing you how to achieve a really effective and quick, cheap, creepy Halloween makeup tutorial. Now I'm going to be recreating a much easier version of this look that I have done in drag. So stay with me and hopefully we can create something really creepy using the brand new Revolution Pro Halloween products. Now, this look is very much inspired by the idea Touched by the Devil.
There we go.
And in order to give that eerie, ghostly, possessed look almost, I'm going to be taking my white base, which is a really beautiful, highly pigmented white foundation by Revolution Pro. And I'm going to be applying that using the foundation brush 220. Now, as you guys will see, unlike most white foundations produced by brands over the Halloween period and in general, this is the most pigmented white. And the reason I'm taking it on this really beautiful brush is just to shear down the product, just to make sure that the white isn't as opaque as it can be. Whilst I'm using this product to create quite a demonic, possessed look.
Okay. So I actually do have the Revolution white base here. I don't have the brush, I will be honest. So I'm just going to be using this brush. It is my pointed foundation brush by Real Techniques, just because I have it there. And I'm just going to try and see what we can do with this. Oh my goodness. I can't actually see this properly, so I have no idea how this is looking. I don't want it to go too pale, but I mean, they went really, like, not really pale, but it is meant to lighten your skin out. So I will actually jump up in a second and go and grab the mirror so that I can at least see what the hell I'm doing. Let me go and do that quickly. Okay. Oh goodness, I do look really pale now. Obviously I'm always pale, so this is even paler than pale. So let's just continue. I've done all of the face. I have got my mirror here, so I'm kind of just like relying on this. But let's continue on and see what we need to do next.
Look, this foundation would be perfect to create any ghostly or vampire inspired look, just because it is such a beautiful, highly pigmented base. Then taking my 260 brush, I'm now just going to start buffing and blending that product into the skin, obviously just so we have a really seamless base. Going back to the...
Okay, again, I do not have that brush particularly, but I do here have a buffing brush, again from Real Techniques. I normally use this just to buff in my contour, but for today I guess we're going to just try and use this with this foundation just to try and even it out, because it did look a little bit patchy in certain places. So I guess this is working. It's definitely evening the tone out, which is good. I think the base looks pretty flawless at the moment. I do look pale as fuck, but hey ho!
For the 220 brush, I'm going to be bringing this across my ears and also down onto my neck.
Okay. So...
And then buffing that in with the 260 brush. Once you're happy with the base...
Okay, so to finish off the base, we need to go back in with some more foundation and go over the ears and neck and buff that in. So basically the same steps that we just took before. I don't want to put too much on the ears either, but we're going to have to put a fair amount on anyways, so fuck it. Oh well. Get that neck. And get right underneath as well. Ooh. Alrighty, so I think we've got all of that piece done now. Okay, once again, let's continue with the tutorial.
We're now going to be taking the white pressed powder, which again is a really beautiful pigmented white, just to mattify the entire skin, just to give that sort of matte, aged, deceased look. And to do so, I'm going to be taking my 330 brush.
Right, so again, I do not have the brush, but I do have the powder. So I think this is literally the fluffiest brush I have, which again is my buffing brush. So sorry guys, it's not the correct brush, but we're gonna just have to work with it. So I'm just gonna take some of that and just press that in. I've never used a block powder, so this is completely new to me as well. So let me whip out my thing as well. I definitely need some powder on my forehead because my forehead is very sweaty. Okay, I think we've got that pretty much covered. So that is now, I hope, most of the base done. So let's see where we're going for now. Let me just pop that down quickly. Right.
Dipping into the face paint palette, taking this really beautiful 100 brush. I'm going to be taking this very mauve colour and I'm going to be cutting out and intensifying all the deeper set areas of the face.
Okay, so I am trying to pay attention to where he's popping this.
Then taking the 260 brush, which we used to buff out the white foundation, I'm now going to be going in where we've just laid that cream to soften the edges and give a seamless look.
Okay. Again, no brush, but I do have the palette. So we're just gonna try and, you know, reuse things. Sorry, like, this is there. So it was this shade in this little corner here, the mauve shade. And I'm just gonna make sure that there's no excess foundation on my foundation brush, because I'm just gonna go in with that, because it's pretty much the only brush that I can tell is gonna be working with this. So it looked like he went into the eyes. Okay, that comes out quite like dark. Also around the nose, it looked like. I may have to go back and look at this, but I'm just trying my best to remember all of the little details. Okay, so I look a little bit ridiculous. Once again, we're going to go in with the buffing brush and just try and blend this in and hope for the best, really. Okay, so I'm just going to check up on the tutorial now, just so we can see how the finished product should look, in case we need to add some more, because it's very faded in now.
I'm going to be coming back to the face paint palette, but for now I'm going to be taking another Revolution Pro product, which is the Regeneration Entrance palette. And on the same brush, I'm going to be dipping into a combination of these lower mauve colours as well as this darker shade here. And I'm just going to be placing this on top of the creams we've laid down. And again, we don't need to worry about this looking too precise for now, because we're going to go back in and just make sure everything is blended out and seamless.
Okay, so again, I do not have that palette. Because it's actually out of stock at most stores now, which is really annoying. So I'm just gonna like jump in with my Morphe one. I'm just gonna try and see if we can match as best as we can. So I've got a couple of shades on here that we can possibly use. I may look into like this one up here, maybe even if we need a lighter one. We've got this one in the corner, which is pretty light, and we've also got a fairly deep but still, you know, I'm going to try that deep one quickly just to see what we can get. Oh yeah, that's the one. So that's slightly deeper colour. Just pack it over it. Right, I think we're okay for powder now. I have strengthened it a little bit so that we can see it, but I didn't want to go too full on because I never like my contour to look too crazy, but it does look pretty crazy.
Now we're pretty much done with the base. The fun part is now doing the devil's handprints. Now to do so, I'm going to be using a handful of the Revolution Pro products, as well as showing you a really effective technique when it comes to liquid latex. Now, you can use two products to achieve this. You can either dip back into the face paint palette, which is probably ideal if you have it, or you can take these really beautiful cream sticks, which I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to transfer a majority of this product across the hand in which we're going to print across our face. Now, this step is pretty self-explanatory. We are literally going to cover a majority of our hand with the red paint. You can either use a brush for this, taking the face paint palette, or, like I did, use the cream stick and then go in with a brush. Now, the fun part. We're going to
Okay, before we even get to the fun part, I need to get this hand. I'm going to use this one so that we can get it on there decently. I need to get some paint on there. So I'm just going to use the face paint because we've bought it now, we might as well make use of it. And I'm going to take this red colour just here. I'm just going to cover my hand. So I've actually covered my hand now in the red face paint. God, I'm super nervous about this. I don't even know where to position it properly. I'm going to use my mirror because it might help a little bit. And I'm just trying to put a little bit of pressure on. Okay, you can kind of see it. Kind of. Don't worry though, because we've got a rough guide now of where to go. But for the meantime, we're just going to look at the tutorial again.
To transfer our hand across our face, which is in essence going to look like we have been touched by the devil. You can do this in any position, there is no right or wrong way. You can even do the handprint across your chest or, of course, around your neck. Once done, you should have something that resembles something like this. Obviously, my hands are a lot larger than my face, so it's very impactful. Again, you can use this print anywhere across your body. Now, to intensify this in areas, I'm going to be dipping into this darker blood red from the face paint palette using one of the brushes. And the brush I'm going to be using to do this is the 210 brush. And I'm just going to, in areas, enhance that first initial contact that the hand had with our face.
Right. Obviously, once again, I don't have that brush. One thing that I am quickly going to run off and do is wash my hand, because otherwise I'm going to make a huge mess and it's going to be ridiculous. Essentially, I'm going to be dipping into that colour and just trying to enhance what we left, kind of. Okay, so that is a rough handprint. It is a little bit too dramatic, I think, on the actual handy bit, but hey go.
Another fun trick you can do is just slightly elongate and make those fingertips pointy to give the appearance that it's not in fact a human hand, but something a little bit more demonic.
Okay, let's go in. I'm going to just use like the corner piece of this and just see if we can try and, oops. No, I think this is a little bit thinner and less bushy than their one. So, yeah. We're just going to do whatever we can do. Okay, so we have elongated them now, so let's just see what else they want us to do now.
Taking my Revolution Pro Day to Dream eyeshadow palette, taking the dark burgundy shade, I'm going to be setting the red we've just laid down in areas. Now comes the fun part.
Okay, so again, I do not have that palette. Whoops. So we're kind of I'm gonna see if I've got a red shade. I think I might do, so let me just have a check for that. Okay, so I've actually got my NYX Ultimate Shadows palette here, and I'm just gonna try and see if we've got any colours in here that we can kind of use, because they're a little bit, I mean, the red that we've got here is a little bit glittery, so I'm actually going to just go in with a bit of more the pinky colour and hope for the best. Okay. So we've kind of done that now. So now it looks like we're actually going on to our liquid latex, which I have got here. I'm just going to get it ready.
Which is the liquid latex. Now, for those that haven't used liquid latex, this is a liquid formula that dries into a skin-like material. This can be used in numerous different techniques, whether you're using it with cotton wool, tissue. I'm going to be applying this directly to my skin using my finger, just because we don't want to damage any of the beautiful brushes that we have in our kits. So, I'm going to be using my hand, which is the perfect canvas as this product does dry. Then, taking my finger, I'm going to start applying this across the area in which the hand has made contact with the face. Now, as this product dries, it's going to become tacky, and this is the really important phase of getting this crispy, burnt look. Now, what I'm going to do is keep tapping this product, which will not only encourage it to dry, but you'll see it will start to lift some of that product, giving almost a torn look. Going back in with the brush that we used for the really...
Okay, I think I gathered most of that. So we're just going to apply our liquid latex onto our hand. It's very watery. I don't really know what I expected, to be completely honest with you all. This is going to make such a mess, I can already tell. And we're just going to apply this with our finger. I can already tell this is going to go great. I can't get anything working. Oh, this smells really bad. And it's making my eye water. So I am going to just keep applying more and more, just so that we can build it up a little bit. Does stink like hell, and I'm sorry that I'm looking this way. It's just because this is where my mirror is right now. Oh yeah, there we go. Right, so I feel like this is done with this stage. Again, I've never worked with liquid latex, so I don't know if it should indeed dry clear, because mine is currently still a little bit white, but the tacky feeling seems to have gone. So yeah, I'm going to quickly go and wash my hands because they're an absolute mess again, and we're going to continue with this. Okay, so it has dried in a little bit more now, so yeah. I don't have, it doesn't look as good in any way, shape or form. Theirs looks so much darker, more detailed, and the liquid latex really peeled up for them. It didn't peel that much for me. Like, it peeled in a couple of places, but not a huge amount. But let's see what the next step is anyway.
really beautiful dark burgundy shade. I'm now going to be taking that across the liquid latex just to mattify any of this gloss that we've now got showing. The next exciting colour we're going to be taking from the face paint palette is this really beautiful yellow shade, and I'm going to be taking this and adding this in areas. Like any burn, it obviously has multiple colours, so I'm going to be using this to add a little bit more dimension. And dipping back in.
Okay, so I am just going to whip out my NYX Ultimates again and my currently pink brush. I'm just going to try and quickly go over some of these little areas just to try and sort those out a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to actually dip in, as we've said, to this more yellow colour there. I'm just going to ensure that like most of the red colour at least is off of this brush, and just try and go through and see if there's any spots that we can add this yellow to, because then yeah. So I'm just taking a little bit on this brush and let's have a look. Well, I do have quite a few little miniature spots here and there, which is quite good. So I'm just taking those into those little places where the liquid latex has actually left a gap. I'm trying to emphasize it enough that you can tell that it's got the yellowness to it, but not too much that it looks too forced. I'm just going to add it to a couple of other areas, even though there's no pulled skin, just to give it a little bit more definition, as you can see. Okay.
Back into this beautiful blood red shade. To finish the bulk of this work, we're going to be taking our fake blood.
Okay. So again, we're just going back in with some more of this red and just emphasizing certain areas again. Okay, sorry there, my camera actually cut out that last little bit. So as you can see, it's a little bit redder now, so I've actually just gone back in with some of the face paints and just intensified that red and intensified a bit of the yellow as well, just so it shows through a little bit, just a teeny bit. So final step now, which looks like it is the fake blood, which we have here.
Now, like every fake blood on the market, this can stain, so obviously just be aware of that. And to do so, I'm going to be just applying this again into the centre of my hand, just so I have a rough idea on how much blood I'm going to need. And I'm going to be using the foundation brush, which is just going to add a slight stippling effect. Now that I'm happy with the makeup, I'm going to throw in a contact lens and put on something a little bit more appropriate, and I shall show you.
Okay, so I'm a little bit nervous about this, I will not lie. Again, because this is a bit messy and it's probably going to ruin my brush, but I think we're past ruining the brush. So let's just apply a little bit in the centre of my hand. I'm not applying too much of this because I do not want to stain everything. So just going in with this and just kind of taking it in a few places. Okay there you guys, so here is the finished look. Definitely not as good as their version of it, but I am quite happily surprised. Top tip for next time, make sure you spread your fingers out as much as possible so you get the actual definition of your fingers a lot more than mine. Yeah, it was actually really easy. Definitely not too hard, but I'm just gonna have to try and get all of this off now. But yeah, so definitely check out the original video. I will leave it down below. All products also will be down below. Get them now at Superdrug, and they've got 3 for 2 on all of these Halloween essentials. So all of the products are included within that, so get to Superdrug now. But like I said, I hope you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed filming this actually, and yeah, I hope you have a really happy Halloween, and if you do attempt this, then let me know. Anyway, you guys, I need to go now, so I will see each and every one of you guys in the next video. Peace out, witches!